Welcome to JB Trio Podcast Season 6, Episode 12. I'm Lee McDonald Jr.
Christopher, the comeback kid, Woodmansey.
Mark, the Ancient Warrior Merchant.
Wow, he said that.
And joining us tonight is Mr. Geno Clay. How you doing, Geno?
Geno!
Oh, yeah, I'm doing wonderful. How are you guys doing?
We're doing awesome. We're happy to have you. You're on this week because you made Bowler of the Week last week. You bowled 99 pins over your average last week.
Oh, wow, awesome.
Good job.
More than Mark. You beat Mark. Congratulations.
Wow, really?
Yeah, your team did pretty good. Your team was that the week that you guys pre-bowled, or you guys?
No, it was the week that it was last week.
That's right.
It was last week when Tina got her new ball, and the group we were bowling with, we were having some issues with the pins and all that kind of stuff. It was.
But anyway, that's right. That was Christian and Brian and their sub that they brought.
Yeah, that's right. That was that foul situation that was going on down there.
Man, I'll be honest with you. You know, I know I'm Italian, but I'm 55, and I just try to avoid all the confrontation I can. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't want. And Craig was. I was telling Craig, hey man, it's all right, buddy. He goes, no, it's not that we win or lose. It's the point. And we're. I mean, dude, that comes from the old-fashionedness, background that we come from. So.
Well, it is the point. That's why we've been trying to tell Chris for years about the foul line.
I don't foul.
There's a little backstory behind that, Geno. Chris here had the worst time. And
Geno, have you ever seen me foul? Have you ever seen me foul? I don't foul. Have you ever seen me foul?
No.
Okay, great. Remember that. Remember that when they're about to tell your story about me.
Okay.
So what happened, Geno, is for years the alley had broken foul lights. Chris never knew his foot would go over the line.
Oh, he knew.
Every bowler in the league pointed it out to him, and he still doesn't believe it.
Yeah, just take a look. Take a look at the JB Trio site. It's got a picture of Chris there over the foul line.
I was posing.
Yeah. The thing was, they couldn't find.
He was posing on purpose.
Oh wow!
They couldn't find the fuse box. We finally located it for them. And
that was
as soon as they
couldn't believe it, we asked the mechanic.
Yeah, and as soon as
the foul lights work, he said we can't find the fuse box.
As soon as they turned him on, he fouled like 5 times that night.
No,
he did.
I did
it was
not.
like 6 times in a row.
Okay.
Insane.
Hey. I do want to say, Geno, did you hear the rumor that was going around at the bowling alley on Tuesday night last week? Chris wasn't there, and Chris, you got to tell me if this is true. There was a rumor going around that Camilla got you an early Christmas present, and your after using it, your hemorrhoids acted up.
Oh
no! No, I pulled my back out.
Oh,
pulled your back out.
Somebody said she tried using a 2-liter bottle on you.
Oh. What were you doing when you pulled your back out?
I was making her some spaghetti, and I make this pasta homemade. So I was getting the pot to put the noodles in, and the noodles are below. So I've been down, just bending my back, not squatting. And then once I pulled up, I was like, "Oh my god!"
You pulled your back out cooking?
Yep.
And you just turned 30 not too long ago?
Yeah, I pulled my back out cooking. So nothing with a Coke bottle, nothing with Camilla ever happened to me.
It was the new sex toy. That's what they were saying.
Camilla said it?
Not what we heard.
So is the spaghetti good?
The spaghetti was good.
That's all that matters. All right, so let's go ahead and get to our first segment, the fastest 3 minutes in bowling. First off, first pair, Team 2, the blind team, going up against Team 6. That's 3 fingers deep with Rick Connor, his son, and George, and they won the night. Finally, a team that beat the blind, 38 out of 48, so kudos to them. They're, again, fighting for first. Next pair was Team 4, blaming on the alcohol against Team 11, Ricky and the 2 mix. And Ricky's team won again. This is 3 weeks in a row. They won 32 out of 48 against a tough team. So kudos to them. Next pair, Team 9. That's Slate's Rockheads currently in first. They bowled against Team 15 OG, and they took no pity on Team OG. Team OG brought in the sub, and it didn't matter. 46 out of 48. Jared and Neil carried that team that week. They both bowled really high scores, so kudos to the first place team. Next pair, Team 3, Wicked Trio against Team 12, the men in the 10 pin. And men in the 10 pin won that week, 32 out of 48. And I think it was Sean that held them up that week. So good job for them. Next pair, Team 13, BD in the pocket against Team 8. That's with Geno, where Geno's team pulled it out because Geno bowled great that night, bowler of the week. That's Team Pin High. And Team Pin High took 36 out of 48. So kudos to Geno and Craig and Tina. Next pair, Team 14. That is Timmy, Leland's team with Camilla. And they had a sub that week. Larry Babineau come in, shot lights out, helped them out. And they bowled up against Team 7. That is the S team with Chris Saunders and Tina and Diago. And that is a losing cause for them. That was Larry carrying Team Timmy, got them out of the gutter out of last place. They won 33 out of 48. Team 16, that is the almost empty nest team. That's Tina's mom and dad and aunt. They bowled up against Team 10. That's Chris's team. Also took no pity, but I guess because Chris didn't show up that night, as you heard, he threw his back out. That was the reason for the win, 38 out of 48. And last pair, Team 5, Mark's team against my team, Team 1. We almost beat them, but we let them come back in the end. And it was a Kiss Your Sister, 24 out of 48. So we split. We unfortunately did not help them stay in first or get to first. First place is still Slate's Rockheads, 413. And second place, Mark's team, 388. Third place, Three Fingers Deep, is 379. Put your thumb in it. Chris's team climbed up to fourth place. They're at 362. Team 1, who you calling the pinhead? My team, now in fifth place at 344. Knocked out, blame it on the alcohol. They're in sixth, 341. BD in the pocket in seventh, 326. Ricky and the two mics at 324 and 8. The men in the 10 pin in ninth, 317. Wicked Trio 308 is in 10th. Pin High, that's Craig and Geno. They're in 11th, and they're at 269. The S team, they're at 263 and 12th. Team OG in 13th with 242. Timmy in 14th, 236. And in last place, almost empty nest, 225.
Rigged, but it's okay.
Did you say rigged?
Yeah, rigged.
Rigged? You guys are in fourth.
We should be in first, but
okay. Woulda, coulda, shoulda. You guys were in almost at the bottom.
No, we weren't. We were never almost at the bottom.
Well, let's see. One other stat I want to get to is high average. Neil Brady's still in the lead at 214 from last week.
Well, he's only in the lead because he never bowls.
He bowls every week. He does. Garrett Williams is in second at 211, and Ron Reynolds has climbed the top 3 at 206. So kudos to those 3. And MVP is so far in the running, George Martinez and Sean Taylor tied for first at 64 points each. And all 3 guys tied for second is Jared Gallegos, Kyle Howell, and Ricky Boudreaux. 62 points tied for second. For the ladies, the top average, of course, is Camilla Woodmansey, the first lady of the league.
Wife.
That is Chris's wife. She's at 170 average, and followed by Amanda Cunningham at 145. She had a great week of bowling. She was bowler of the week for the ladies. And Nancy Davis at 134. All right, discussion. We split our league of the 2 halves. We just bowled week 13 going into week 14. And we're almost at week 18, which is the end of the first half. So how's everybody feeling?
Horrible.
Yeah, I mean, the real question is who's Chris bringing in this week?
I'm good. All right, so you know what? A little heads up, a little insight knowledge. After I pulled my back out on Friday, I went bowling on my league Friday, and I bowled 735. Suck it.
No way, really?
Yeah.
It was 4 or 5 games.
3 games. It was a 245 at the gate, a 235, and then another 255 at the end.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's not bad. Now was that league or practice?
League. It was in league.
So who's going to be sitting, Jake or Phil?
No one. We're all there. We're all going to
Oh
win.
my God! You guys are making a comeback.
Yeah.
I should play the tape. That's exactly what you said last week.
And we won. And we
wrote his back out cooking.
Yeah, but I threw my back out on Monday. After we did the podcast.
Did you really though?
Did
you really?
I really did. I could not move. The pain level, really, I couldn't even move in the shit. Like, literally could not move.
All right, we'll give you a pass on that one, but awfully suspicious though. But that's okay.
I knew this was gonna happen. Every time my wife's like, maybe I have to bowl. I have to fight it because if I don't bowl, and they're gonna think I'm making excuses.
Wait a minute. So you were already being paranoid that we were gonna say something?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. I wonder. It may have been selective back
So
issues.
first thing that popped in my head when I pulled my back out, shit, would I be able to bowl?
First thing that popped in your head was shit.
Yeah, exactly.
So, that pops into my head every week, and I didn't throw my back out.
Oh, man. Yeah, see, Geno throws his back out constantly. He's still bowling.
Yeah, I mean, I stop leaning over, I'll be okay, but.
Yeah, us older guys throw our backs out like once or twice a week.
It's just funny that I just turned 30 years old, and then first thing I do is pull my back out.
You're already having issues, and you just literally turned 30 within a week.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And you're about to have your second anniversary here in another week.
Yes.
So what
I remember 30. I remember 30 for sure.
I remember.
See, Mark doesn't. That was like, 200 years for him?
Mark's not that much older than I am.
No, Mark lived with the dinosaurs. That's how old.
I just wonder what new toy you're gonna get to throw at your back.
Yeah, Geno, I don't know if you heard a couple episodes ago we had what's known as the Coke bottle incident. So you'll have to go back and listen to find out the gory details.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, you can picture in your head just saying the name, the Coke
bottle. It wasn't that great. It wasn't that great of an episode.
Wow.
Oh
yeah,
man. Talk about thinking of shit.
Yeah, I mean, they couldn't afford to buy some sex toys, so they improvised.
That's a true statement right there.
And didn't they use, what was it that they used, Mark? And then they gave it back to their mom?
No, we didn't give it back to my mom. My mom just ended up using it.
What was it? It was a flower pot or something like that?
It was a flower vase.
Oh, my God.
Yes.
And then they gave it back to their mom.
No, we didn't give it back to her. She just found it, and she thought, this would be nice.
Yeah, and Geno, these toys are not being used on Camilla. They're being used on Chris.
Oh, that's sweet.
All
wow. God, does Chris have "fuck you" written on his forehead or something tonight?
It's always like this, Geno. Always.
That's what he does to himself. He tells us these things.
Wow.
I really didn't. Rick is the one who said something.
Rick the Dick.
Can't wait to hear the story about the tortilla maker roller, whatever it is.
Oh, geez.
The fruit roll-up?
Hey, look it.
Don't give him any ideas.
He used to feed his dog peanut butter. I don't want to tell you what he used to do.
Never did. Never did.
The dog ran away from home.
From dog abuse.
No, the dog actually ran to the shelter. It's like, I'd rather be in the shelter.
He'd rather be in the shelter.
Thank you, everyone, to Chris Probes the Guest. Today's guest is Geno Clay, an old timer, a veteran of JV Trio. He's back in the league. He's back in pride. He's back into the bowling century. He started his career off great so far. He got Player of the Week. So now we're getting to know Geno Clay. We're going to probe in pretty dry, pretty deep, see how long he can take it. All right, Geno, you ready for this?
Yes, sir.
Awesome. All right, now get ready, bend over, and spread them. All right?
Oh, wow. I haven't been to jail in a very long time. Some say prison life changes people, but I don't think so.
Chris.
I'm joking.
So Geno, now we need to get the start of Geno. We need to get the start of Geno Clay and bowling. So what all started bowling for you? Like what started bowling? What year? What age? What century? How did
I worked at Golden Triangle Bowl in Irving when I was 16.
Wow, that's a blast from the past.
And I was just bowling one night and after work, when we were closing up and stuff, and there was a guy named Dal Ballard Jr.
Wow.
And he was there and he was showing me some stuff. And then every time he was there, he would say, "Hey, Geno, what's going on?" And he would, show me some stuff on how to bowl. And that's kind of how I really started in getting into it. And there was the
legend Del Ballard. Wow, I can't believe it.
Is this before the shot was named after him?
I don't know.
Like, was he famous
I don't
at
know.
this time? Was he famous at this time?
Was this before or after that he married Carolyn Dorn?
You know what? I don't know the answer to that. All I know is he was super nice. He was kind of cocky, but for the most part, he kind of, he was very open and talked to me. He was kind of like like Chris. He would tell me some things, and I would listen, and he seemed to I try to implement that in what I was doing and stuff. And I mean, that was a long time ago. That was
time, or was he like starting?
It was 1984, 85.
Oh, damn! Wow. So that's pretty cool. That's awesome.
That's a good story. That's the best story ever. So
that is awesome.
So after that, you're 16 years old, work at the alley. How long did you bowl before your retirement?
I bowled for about 2 years, and then I kind of hung it up. And I went to school, and when you're that age, there's I won't elaborate on what they are. We all know what that is. What my focus was. And so I was young. So anyway, I met my wife, and I kind of hung up bowling. And my balls were kind of antiquated. By the time, because I met my wife 4 years later after that. Well, it was about 3 years after that. And then she goes, "Hey, let's just go bowling." And I said, okay. And so back then, they didn't have the cool bags they have now. I mean, I had this thing look like a luggage suitcase. I mean, literally with the big belt on it and stuff, and it didn't have wheels, and the thing was heavy as all get out. So, but anyway, I started bowling. We went bowling that night, and it's kind of like riding a bike. You don't forget how. I pulled out this Axe bowling ball that I had. It was one of our first dates, and I bowled 9 strikes in a row. And I've never done that in my life, not even when I was really bowling heavy, like 5 times a week. I had 9 strikes in a row. And I was at Don Carter All-Star Lanes, and the guy goes, "Ladies and gentlemen, on lane 37, Geno Clay's about to bowl a perfect game," and I'm like, "Oh my God," and my hands were shaking so bad. I mean,
what a dick! That guy's a dick.
So I left the 10 pin, in the 10th frame.
Oh, geez.
And you did look at this guy. You did.
That was kind of like the highlight of my life, kind of like
And then you said yes, so you asked her to marry you.
Yeah, and then now after being married, I know, but after being married 30 years, now she says no. So
now she says no. I wish I could take my 30 years back.
No, I'm joking. I mean, it's not that bad. I mean, sometimes I got to wake her up and tell her I'm through. Honey, wake up. You were great. Thanks.
You get in trouble like Chris does constantly.
Oh, fuck. All right, so, I mean, that's a great story. So, what made you want to come back 30 years later? 30 years later, what made you say, "Hey, babe, just join the league, just join JV Trios, just join Tuesday"?
Well, honestly, I was on a fishing trip with Craig Lauren. We were talking while we were fishing, and he said, "Yeah, me and my dad, bowling." I went, "Bowling? Wait, what'd you say? You know how to bowl?" He goes, "Man," and then we started like going at it, like we were about to have a fight, talking about who's better. So he goes, "We need to get and go bowling, man." And we talked about it, never did. And then this last conversation we had around August, I think it was, he said, "Dude, let's join a league. Let's just do this shit, And I'm like, "Okay, I'm in," And I told my wife, I go, "Well, you're on a bowling league." She goes, "We are?" I'm like, "Yes, we are." So.
I always like to tell my wife, like, "Hey, you're doing this."
Our shoes have been in that bag for so long that I kid you not. Whenever I threw my first frame, had a blowout. Like the shoe sole came completely off, and
wow.
I had to buy new shoes.
It's hard to believe because the only fishing trip Craig Voren would go on is for women.
Oh yeah.
Dude,
He does that fishing, the
cat fishing.
The cat fishing.
Oh, dude, I mean, he's pretty good, and he's pretty good angler. He can fish. I like him. I've fished with Craig a lot.
Did you meet him fishing, or did you work with him, or?
Long story short, he went to a rival high school in Irving and I went to Irving High, and he went to MacArthur or whatever. And then we knew some of the same people that we grew up with. And every year we meet at Lake Fork, and there's like 20 of us alumni, guys that grew up in Irving. Together with the high school together, and we get together once a year, and we have a fishing tournament and washers and horseshoes and stuff, and it's really cool, and kind of bond with the guys once a year. And I told Craig, I said, we need to just get together more than just once a year, dude. He's like, well, let's do the Bowman thing, man. We'll do this JB trios, bro. And I said, okay, I'm in 100%.
That's
oh, that's one of those Make a Friend foundations that Craig's in.
No, it's kind of the Big Brother program, So.
Yeah.
The boys and girls stuff.
Yeah, Craig's dad, he bowled with Mark in the senior league on Monday, so Mark's very familiar with Craig and his family.
Lee, we have to be very sensitive about saying
Yeah,
that.
actually,
are still sensitive about that.
yeah, actually, he said he was going to come down tomorrow night to watch his son.
No way, really?
Yeah.
Awesome.
He said he was
Or
coming.
he wants to watch me. He wants to see what I do.
Today, he was thinking of coming down tomorrow night to watch his son bowl.
Oh, that's cool. Former
Really?
Geno bowler.
Yeah, you've never met him, have you, Geno?
No, sir. I have not had the pleasure, but I mean, I know all, a lot of stories. You know what I mean? When one of them he talks about was he goes, "Oh, Dad was pitching last week," and I go, "What?" He goes, "Softball." He said, "Softball." I go, "Softball? I thought your dad's like 80." And he goes, "He is." And I go, well, "What the fuck are you talking about?" I mean,
but he does.
I have a hard time, wiping my rear end. I mean, you got to be kidding me.
He can barely move, but he sure pitches.
Well, that's what I hear. So
yeah, he does good.
So two more questions to end off the stream. Awesome to hear. So you joined JV Trios? What reason? And while being in JV Trios for the past 14 weeks now? 14 weeks. How are you feeling? What's your experience like? And then what is your experience been like for the past 14 weeks of being a part of this league? How did you like it? What do you like about this?
I like a lot of the people, they're friendly and they're open, and no one's I coach baseball, so not everyone's extremely friendly like they are on the bowling gig, you know what I mean? So when everyone's pretty sociable is what I mean. Like I meet different people each week, and I can't remember the guy that wears the Metallica shirts and he's got the long socks with the that it looks like you got at the air jump place, when you go to have a birthday party.
Yeah, Ricky Dick.
Yeah, he's super nice, and everybody's real friendly. And I had a guy last week walk up and shake my hand and hug me, and I don't even know who the hell he was, So, but that's one of the things that I do like about it. What made me join was Craig goes, "Man, we need to join this," and I think he knew a couple of people, and that kind of makes it a little easier too. Quite honestly, I mean, don't take it the wrong way, but when the JB Trios, dude, it's like walking in a Walmart, man. I mean. You've got all walks of life of people, all kinds of, people that give different occupations and different, you know what I mean? There's no really set type of person, so, but I enjoy the people, dude. I mean, everybody seems pretty friendly for the most part. If you've noticed, I noticed in the first 2 weeks we bowled that, dude, they were about to have a brawl and a knockdown, drag out fist fight, in the league before us. And so I think it's kind of cool that, that hadn't happened in our league,
They do tend to have quite a bit of characters in that league. They've actually had quite a few incidents between themselves and even trying to give up lanes to us. They've yelled at our bowlers for a few times. There's a couple fights I almost had to break up.
Oh, wow.
They're a rowdy bunch, that first squad.
Yeah.
That was that one fight you almost had to break up, Chris and Camilla.
Okay, never have. So
really?
we're really glad.
No, he's kidding.
Oh, okay. I was like, I don't. He didn't seem like that. I don't know. I don't see it.
Yeah.
No, he won the mystery score, and he wanted to get down to Harry Hines.
Oh my God.
Oh wow.
Oh, geez.
Dude, you're showing your age there. I think they changed the streets now, dude.
Uh-oh.
So, I mean, we're really happy to have you and all that. But so while being in the league for 14 weeks, now, what team do you like going against? What person do you like going against? And what team do you hate going against?
Ooh, that's tough. Well, I definitely don't like bowling against Chris's team. I mean,
it's unanimous. Everybody he asked has said the same thing.
Well, I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean, I don't misconstrue. What I mean is like Colorado playing Georgia. You know what I mean?
Oh my God!
Yeah.
No.
They're
not Georgia.
No. Well, what I think he was trying to say is he doesn't know who's going to bowl that night. Who's going to show up?
Yeah, exactly.
With Chris's, against Chris's team, what's funny is he had to strike out to beat me. Well, of course, with my handicap, but he had to strike out to beat me, and he had 2 strikes in a row in the 10, and then I think he left the 10 in the last night.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
so
Chris.
I beat him by 1.
Yeah, by 1 freaking pin.
1
Chris
pin.
choked.
Handicap.
He's choked quite a few times before.
Hey, that's an accomplishment, man. I mean,
he was bowling great. He was bowling he was bowling a little bit too above average of his average.
Yeah.
And,
we heard about it afterwards. You said that fucking Geno.
Hey, wait! You said the same thing in your car on the way home.
That's great.
Yeah, so I mean, we're really happy to have you, Geno. Really are. We hope.
Thank you.
We hope you come back for the summer for duos, and then come back for the fall and stay a part of this league because we like to have friendly faces around here because we all know one another. We all shit talk one another. Well, it's all.
Well, I mean, it's definitely like a family-oriented environment. If I could say that, that about you guys. So
that's what we try.
Very much so.
We try to keep that vibe.
We do. We hope you become a regular.
Here we go with another episode of Beat Mark's Picks. We got a new leader. I'm in the lead.
No, you're not.
No way.
No. Let me give you a rundown last 2 weeks. 2 weeks ago, I went 4-4. Lee went 4-4. Chris 5-3.
Oh
no!
And our guest went 5-3. And then last week, I went 5-3. Lee 5-3. Chris 4-4.
Oh, he's back down.
And our guest 6-2.
Wow.
Yeah.
Hey, good for the guest.
Yeah. And overall total 34-30 for myself. Lee and Chris tie for the lead. 42 wins, 22 losses.
Wow.
And I guess 23-16. 23 wins, 16.
I can't believe it. Chris cannot pass me.
It's a battle.
Wow, that's crazy. Well, all right. So let's get this started. So first, right off the bat, Mark's team against Slate's Rockheads. Slate's Rockheads against Slate's Sloppy Seconds. This ought to be probably one of the match of the whole season so far. Who's got the spread on this?
I got the spread, but what do you think it is? Any idea what you would say this is?
Less than 10 pins.
35.
Wow.
35. You're getting 35 off those guys?
35.
Yep.
My God.
They're giving us 35.
Wow. All right. I'm going to go right off the bat and say that my team actually bowled both you guys. We bowled you last week. We bowled Neil's team 2 weeks ago. And it was both weeks in a row was Kiss Your Sister. It was 24-24 almost. It was on tough shots. Both shots were tough. Last week was tough because we had 32 just had hardly any oil on it at all. But you guys are going to be bowling on 17-18, which is a good pair. They're right in the middle. They always tend to have a good shot there. I'm sorry to say it, Mark. On a good shot, I think they're just going to edge you guys out just a little. They have been bowling on somewhat of a hot streak ever since Neil blew his top a couple weeks ago. So I'm going to have to give the edge to Neil's team, and I'm going to pick them.
Ouch.
I got Neil's team. Joe Bear. For some reason, when Joe Bear goes against Ron, it just like heats him up. He just like has to like stay up there. So I got Joe Bear team.
Are you familiar with these two teams, Geno?
Is Mark on the other team?
Yep.
He is.
Yeah.
I am familiar, and I'm the only reason that I would pick Mark's team
He's old.
is because y'all didn't, and he's going to come back and do one of those "I told you so" things.
It's probably going to happen. It's probably as a good feeling.
Yep, and I'm going to take our team in this one.
Oh, okay. He's got the guts. So that was 2-2. All right, next pair, Team 12. That's the men in the 10 pin. Hey, I think I'm getting finally these team names memorized. I can't believe it. Against Team 7, the S team. S teams they've been having a bit of a rough go at it here lately. Haven't won. They've been up and down. They lost at first, and they started winning after that, and then now they're kind of back in the losing streak. And they're going against the men in the 10 pin, who has been bowling pretty good the last couple weeks, especially Sean. Again, middle of the house, 19-20. They should have a good shot. I'm gonna have to go with the men in the 10 pin. Oh, and actually, what's the spread, Mark?
82 pins.
Oh my gosh!
Ooh, I didn't think about that. Ooh.
Yeah, 82 for the S.
Ooh.
Oh wow!
I'm gonna keep my pick, even though that's a lot. I'm gonna keep my pick. It had me thinking though, but I'm gonna keep my pick.
Yeah, Sean actually bowls on Friday, and I got the opportunity to bowl next to him on Friday. And damn, dude, Sean, he still throws it bad, but man, he gotten a lot better, like controlling the hook of the ball.
Yes.
And man, he's gotten a lot better, and that ball looks aggressive and looks good every time he lets go of it. So I'm going for the men in the 10 pin because of Sean, only because of Sean.
Copying my picks too.
Nope.
Yeah, being that Chris said all that, I'm going to take the S team.
Oh,
this is why you're in last place, Mark. This is why you're in last.
I'll take the 82 pins.
Yeah.
Wow. I'm gonna have to, wow, that sucks because, talk about Sean and Sean's money right now, but we're talking about 82 pins.
True. The whole person.
Very
and
true.
With the S team being up and down, I mean, I'm gonna go with the underdog, man. I'm gonna go with the S team. Get a win this week.
He's taking the points.
Yeah.
Taking the points.
Yeah, and they bring down the fan club. They bring down
his old age is kicking in, guys.
All right, next pair, Team 6, 3 fingers deep. Rick and George and Caden, who's been fighting for first. They were in first a month ago, and they lost it, and they're still trying to get it back. But they got a tough road ahead of them against BD in the pocket. Now, Geno, this is the team that you guys bowled last week, BD in the pocket.
This spread is 31 pins to the team that Geno bowled last week.
Oh,
they're getting 31 pins from Rick, George, and Caden, and I'm going to go with Rick, George, and Caden in this match.
Man, 31. They get 31 pins.
Yeah,
they're going to get it from Rick, big guy who throws
Metallica
one
shirt,
step delivery,
high socks.
Well, the team that I bowled against, the one of the better bowlers in that group, the cocky guy, the younger guy, he's I like him. Don't misconstrue. He's a good bowler. He's real smooth. But 31 pins. I don't know. He's hot and cold, man. He's like a box of chocolates. That team is like a box of chocolates. You don't know what you're gonna.
Yeah,
that's good. That's awesome. Oh, I think we lost you again, Geno. We'll wait for you.
Yeah, you notice that?
Yeah, but I'll pick for him. He won. He won.
I vote for him. I'm going. If you could vote right now, I got Rick. Rick the Dick.
I'm going with Rick's team. I think that George has been on a hot streak, and actually Rick's been bowling pretty good too. He's still got that 200 average. Only last year and the year before, he's only been in the 180s, but he's been holding on to that 200. So I'm going to go with Rick.
We got to tell Geno the reason this is happening is because he gave Chris a little bit too much praise early on. Causes the connection to go bad.
You know what it is? It's the Chris effect.
It's really not.
We don't want to lose listeners.
Oh, hey, are we going to tell Geno about the curse? Podcast?
I'm
going to let Mark tell him.
Yeah, I warned Geno before we started that, we didn't want to lose listeners. This is why he's getting cut off.
All right, so we're going to press on in hopes that he comes back. It sounded like he was leaning towards Rick's team. It sounded like, because he was saying, he was saying, Brian, you never know what you're going to get. So let's mark him for a 6.
Okay.
So next pair is Team 16, Almost Empty Nest against Team 11, Ricky and the 2 mix.
153 pins.
Holy crap.
Damn.
God.
And I'm assuming that's Almost Empty Nest.
I'm going with Almost Empty Nest here.
Oh, okay. And
that's
they
a
have
bowler.
been bowling better, but unfortunately they lost big last week.
I got Ricky in the 2 mix.
Yeah, me too. Ricky's been bowling pretty good. And
you're copying my team's lead.
No, you copied mine.
I said it first.
I said the other teams first.
Well, you thought what I thought.
All right, so Geno's not back with us. Let me send him one more invite here. All right,
Who you calling a pinhead?
Who you calling a pinhead against Team 15 OG? And OG being a mystery, you never know what you're going to get, quoting Geno. I'm going to go with my team.
Yeah, I got your team as well.
I'm going to go with
if you say OG, it's just
I'm going with OG.
Hey, I don't blame them. I mean, we haven't been knocking the shoes off of any teams. It's been kiss your sister all the time.
Yeah, something's got to break for OG. They got baked the last 2 weeks.
Something has to break for you.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's time. Man, Geno's having a tough time. I wonder if I bet you his phone died because this thing does suck the battery life out of it.
Yeah.
All right, Team 4, blame it on the alcohol against Team 10. Put your thumb in it. This is a tough one. This is a tough team that you're facing, Chris.
35 pins here. Now the thing is, we don't know who's bowling for Chris. We never know. We never know.
You never know who's going to throw their back out cooking.
Yep, we just never know.
And Chris just told us he got done bowling the 700.
Yeah.
Now, Chris, what is the percentage of you showing up tomorrow?
110%.
110. All right. What is the percentage
What about Phil and Jake?
110%.
What's the percentage of you bowling 700 again?
2,000%.
Yeah, that's going to be for 6 games. So I'm taking blaming on the alcohol.
That's fucked up.
Really?
That is rude.
Yep.
You know that.
Yep.
Oh man. Whew. And you got Fred who's bowling good. Even James is bowling good. And Garrett, Garrett's always solid. Oh man, this is tough. This is one of the tougher ones.
Well, Chris is going to fold because Fred's going to bet him like $50 a game.
And I'm going to say yes, and I'm going to win.
My gut reaction, Chris, you're going to like this. My first thought was to pick your team.
And you're right, and you're not wrong.
Then when you heard there was going to be money on the line,
haven't lost.
you knew better.
We haven't lost to any team since the very first week of the league against.
Well, yeah. Your team hasn't been there every week. You're bringing ringers in.
Lee, we haven't lost, right? We haven't lost.
Oh man, this is tough. To me even tougher. They're behind you. They're in 6th. You guys are in 4th. They're in 6th.
Okay, see, this is why they're in 6th. All right, use that as a fact. They're in 6th.
They were in 3rd.
Well, see what happened. They stuck in.
They were
going
down.
They're going down,
and they're only 21 points behind you guys.
Only? That's like how you win the game by 1 pin.
This is to me even tougher than Mark against Neil's team. All All right, I'm put on the spot. I'm put on the clock. So I'm gonna have to go with. Oh, hell with it. I'll go with Chris's team.
Oh,
I'm gonna go Chris's team.
all right, I got blame it on the alcohol.
What? You gave me all that shit for picking them? Are you seriously going with blaming it on the alcohol?
Yes.
Yeah,
You
he's
can't
smart.
Be serious. I'm giving you that much faith, and you're going against your own team.
Well, if we win, we win. I'm okay with taking the L if we win. Okay.
What's
But
Jake and Phil gonna say?
I just want to be on the safe side. No,
Oh
I believe what
that's
you say.
disgusting.
I believe what you do. You don't ever vote for your team because you most likely want to win. So I believe we're gonna win, but this will help my team win if I vote against.
That's disgusting.
This is going to help him
All
beat
right.
you, Lee.
Yeah,
This is what it
He's gonna
is.
take the lead. He's tied every week, so he's sandbagging. He's gonna do that handicap management.
No,
Everybody's
me and
picking the other
Mark,
team
yeah.
except me. All right, so next pair, 14, Timmy, Leland, and Camilla with Who Knows against Team 3, Wicked Trio. What's the spread on this, Mark?
Okay, the spread on this is Tim A's getting +1 as it stands, 1 pin. But, if they get somebody to bowl, that could change things. It's only a 1 pin difference.
Tim actually visited our league last week. He's doing good. He looked good. He's recovering. He says he will be back right before the position round. So I think around week 16, and it's already week 14 with the Christmas break coming up. So the likelihood of them getting a sub is probably good. And if I'm not mistaken, David Carter says that he's going to be there every week to sub now. I think last week Chris offered David to Leland's team, well, his wife's team.
Yeah. I'll tell you this now. I wasn't going to tell y'all until after I voted.
Here it comes. I knew something was happening.
I texted David yesterday because we're talking about other stuff, but I texted him if he could sub for my wife. He said yes.
And he said yes.
So he will be subbing for Tim A tomorrow.
All right, so there it is. So he is going to be there.
But I'm going to take Wicked Trio in this one.
Yeah, I got. Is Larry going to be there?
Yes, they should have. They're rarely going to have anybody missing going forward. They just had Larry got injured that 1 week, which is kind of a fluke. They brought in her son, so I don't see them missing any time. I'm actually going with Leland and Camilla. If I know that David's bowling, then I'm thinking David's going to pull out one of those 300s or 750s or whatever he shot. So I'm going with Leland's team. And Leland bowled pretty good with Larry Babineau subbing in last week. So I'm going to go with them.
Wait, who did Chris take?
I got Larry.
Okay.
You got Wicked Trio?
Yeah, Wicked Trio.
Okay, that might be a +1 for me. All right. I wish we had Geno on for this pick because it's his team. We'll have to talk to him later about it. But Team 8, Geno's team, pin high, against Team 2, the vacant. I think I would know what his pick would be. I think I'd know what we're all going to go with. I'm going with Geno's team. Even though it's on 31-32 and it's a tougher shot. But I'm going to go with – I've got good faith to beat the blind.
But you got to think, podcast Chris. He was on here.
Yeah. You know what? I'm kind of glad Geno dropped because I'm going with the vacancy here.
Oh, no. Oh, my God. This is the first pick the vacancy's got all year.
Yeah, I got vacancy on this one.
No, you're not too. Oh, my God. You guys, that's horrible.
Yeah.
It might happen anyway. All right, there were the picks. All that's in place. We'll get a hold of Geno afterwards. He's still having technical difficulties, but, when you go live like this, it's, who knows. But, yeah, and we discussed the bowlers of the week. We discussed MVP race and things of that sort, so we're almost finished. I do want to make an announcement, though, and I text Mark about it. Next week, we should have the vote ready, not for week 14, but week 15. We should have the vote ready for our picks for the prize fund this year. So we'll have the 3 votes ready, and everybody just circles. Every team will be representing. They'll just circle a vote, and we'll get a chance to look at those. We'll unveil that next week on week 15. And we will also be beginning our winter bracket. So we just finished. Greg Carlton was our winner of the fall bracket. And it's now time to do the drawing for next week. So we won't have any guests on next week. we'll be filling that spot for the drawing. So just like we did for the fall, we'll get the cards back out. We'll randomly pick. There's only 44 bowlers this time, so we've got to try to figure out how we're going to adjust the bracket. So any ideas on that, guys? Maybe we'll see if we can put it down in writing, what kind of brackets, maybe something similar but different to the last one, since the last one worked pretty good.
Okay.
The last couple brackets, Mark, I didn't see your name too late in the standings there. You think you'll make it in the second, third, maybe deep in the bracket?
I think what happened is I made it past the first cut, but did I even bowl the second one? I don't think I did. I think I lost.
Oh, is that what happened?
Yeah, I think I had somebody sub that second week for me and didn't do it.
Man, every time somebody subs for you get screwed.
Yeah, it didn't work out too well.
That was like a Ryan Curtis sub.
Oh yeah, I would never
didn't work
that.
out too well. Yeah.
We'll never let him live that down.
Yeah, never.
It was 169, 170, 171. He bowled a 510. It was the worst sub ever off of 220 average.
I will say he was consistent, though. He was consistent.
Yeah, I think so. He bowled that on his worst pair. Every time he's on 29-30, he knows he's going to bowl like shit.
Yeah,
and
29-30 is a rough pair. It really is, though.
They really are. We had a tough time last week. It was on 31-32, and that 32 was just bone dry.
It's going to be like the match for us this week, like you said, Lee, is down. It's way down in front of the desk,
Yeah.
And our team has not been down there in a long while, and Lee and Neil and those guys just got finished bowling down there that past week. So
and they shot lights out. They won 46 out of 48. So they're very familiar. Kind of one of the reasons why I picked them. They'll be in that little part of the house. But I got good faith you guys will give them a good showing. So it's going to be a good. I wish we could go live, like if Chris brought his camera out.
Win.
Yeah,
then film the chair again.
Win.
Next week, it's a big week.
Yeah.
Wait, next week's playoff round?
No, it's not playoffs. No. I'm just saying that it'd be a good week to have it because we got first bowling second, and then we got fourth bowling sixth. You guys against blaming on the alcohol. We got two great matches.
Oh, bring it tomorrow. Bring it.
It's up to you though. You don't really have to. I'm just saying.
I want to. I've been thinking about the time to bring it out.
There you go.
Should have come down last week with your bad back and.
Oh my God! I should have and just video
that would
record.
have been awesome. You could have probed the chair.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah. You should have did it.
You could have probed the chair. Chris probes the chair.
Yeah, that would have been fun. Like I want to take. I kind of want to take a season off where I just video record the whole every day.
I could see you walking with those hemorrhoids. You'd be bow-legged.
Okay.
Sorry that we couldn't get Geno back on. I'll let him know that he did a great job, and I'm sure he'll thank us for having him on.
I warned them. Too much Chris talk and praising Chris. That's what happens. Just get disconnected.
Maybe this disconnect means that he's going to break the podcast curse with it. So he hung up early, so he know it was the cutoff time for the curse to go into effect.
Could be.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for episode 70. Thank you guys and all our fans who listen to the podcast and bowlers who are bowling.
71.
71. Wow. Thank you so much again, guys. We truly appreciate this. We love doing these podcasts. We love talking to one another and all that. And thank you so much for enduring this podcast and listening to it all the way through. Please tune in for our results of the week, and hopefully you're one of the Chris Probes guests, and we'd love to meet you. Love to have you on if anyone wants to join us. Yeah, tune in next time, guys. If you don't, you're like Geno, getting cut off early.
Got cut off.
If Fred's listening, bring some money. Chris is looking to lose some of his birthday cash.
Okay. No, okay.
And his anniversary cash.
What if he loses?
What if you win and he loses?
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll have to see.
Well, we'll have to find out. So
we'll have to find out. So we'll find out next week in the next episode.
Yeah.
Tune in next week when we hear Chris and the results.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, guys. We'll see you tomorrow night.
Later.